competition. I will now introduce the guests from left to right, from the far end of the table. Rupert Friend has gained recognition for his roles in many films, including Miss Palfrey at the Claremont, The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas, The Young Victoria, Starred Up, and At Eternity's Gate, as well as the successful TV series Homeland. He recently unwrapped filming of the latest installment of the Jurassic World franchise opposite Scarlett Johansson, as well as The Phoenician Scheme, the new film by Wes Anderson, with whom he has collaborated in several projects over recent years. He has also appeared in Lucius Castro's After This Death, which also premieres this year at the Berlinale. Our next guest needs, yeah, we can clap. Jessica Chastain is a celebrated actress for her work across film, television, and theater. She holds an Academy Award, a Golden Globe, 5 Critics' Choice Awards, and 3 SAG Awards. She has starred in over 60 films and television productions, with credits including The Help, The Tree of Life, Zero Dark 30, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, The Martian, Molly's Game, and many, many more. Jessica, it's an honor to have you back at the Berlinale after 14 years.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Writer, director, producer Michel Franco. This marks Michel Franco's first time at the Berlinale competition, following a long list of award-winning films presented at Cannes and Venice, including Sundown, New Order, April's Daughter, Chronic, After Lucia, and most recently Memory, starring Jessica Chastain and Peter Skarsgård. Yeah, we can clap this back. And next to me we have Isaac Hernandez, who is an acclaimed dancer and an actor. Last year he joined the American Ballet Theater, one of the best dance companies in the world, and just recently, last month he was announced as their principal dancer, so congratulations. Well, there's already questions. Okay, let's go over there.
Yeah, hello, this is Mark Karapetian, founder and publisher of Spirit, A Smile in the Storm, a film magazine I do since my 16th living year. My question goes to Jessica Chastain. I really admire you since Tree of Life. You are one of my all-time favorite actresses. Not kidding, but I'm not the only one. I read you said that this wonderful film Dreams is a political film for you. Could you just explain what is so political? What is your view on the film, on this story between the ballet dancer and you? What makes it political? Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for saying that nice thing about me. Well, it's undeniably political because it really does delve into the relationship between America, the United States of America, and Mexico. Michel's work, I think the reason I respond to it is because he provokes and he delves into issues that a lot of filmmakers wouldn't want to explore. He doesn't say what's right and wrong, but what he does is he provokes thought and discussion. I mean, I think it's incredibly political also because of what's happening right now in the United States, but not just the United States, all over the world. And it was really interesting to play a character like Jennifer, who I couldn't filter her through the lens of my own moral beliefs or political views, because in doing so would have completely changed the character and changed the whole plot of the story. So it was important for me to follow what Michel wanted to say in the film about, I mean, there's so much in the film, even the title Dreams, there's so many aspects to that, but this relationship between the United States and Mexico and how in some sense they both need each other and have to learn to play fair, I guess. Mm-hmm.
The lady in the blue over there.
Thank you very much. Vivian Perkovic from German TV Dreisat Kulturzeit. You were referring to the movie's title, Mr. Chastain. I'm asking you for the dreams. And these characters each try to realize their dreams or maybe even deceive themselves that there might be a common dream. In the current political situation, is America the land of dreams, furthermore?
I have to say, I mean, it's a good question. I have to say that hopefully wherever you are in the world, it's the land of dreams. You have to find hope in wherever you are in the world. I mean, if you look at women in Afghanistan or in Iran, like there are a lot of places that are incredibly difficult to live and there's a lot of turmoil. But if you're not able to find some sliver of hope or some sense that it could be different, I mean, what's the point of going on? So, you know, I make my home in the US because I am a hopeful person and I believe that you have to participate to create the environment, the culture, the society that you want. And so I'm not going to give up on my country. So yes, I would like to say there's a lot of us there that are still quite hopeful and we're fighting the good fight, I guess you could say.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about filmmaking. Yeah. Can I ask the rest of the cast to tell us a little bit about their experience on set with Michel and about how different it was than your previous experience with other directors?
Isaac? Thank you, Rupert. Otherwise, I feel like I'm not going to have anything to add. For me, it was an incredible gift to be able to be in a set with the three of you and the rest of the amazing team that we had. It felt incredibly important and it felt so stimulating also. To be present, to be able to create this world and participate in it was really remarkable for me. And I felt like when I started working with Michel, he never doubted me, which made me a little bit uncomfortable at times because he felt like such a big role, such an important story to tell. But he gave me his whole trust and also Jessica and Rupert, every scene that we had, I felt looked after and cared for. And it was really important for me to be able to give this performance. So I want to take the opportunity to thank you publicly because I rarely get the chance. So it was a brilliant experience for me.
Rupert, you don't want to answer?
What's that? No, I mean, for me, one of the things that I really relished about working with Michel was Michel has a delight, I believe, in the specificity of ambiguity, if that makes sense, that his directing is so clean and so precise. But for example, there was a scene that was supposed to take an hour or two, and we ended up spending the whole day on it because Michel kept mining and mining and mining and finding more and more nuance, but always with this crisp, clean specificity. And yet, as Jessica said, without coming down hard on one side of the other or making a decision, more of asking a question. And to me, that's where art gets really exciting. And to echo what Isaac said, to be on set with these guys was just a joy. It's my second time working with Jessica, and I was very, very happy to be doing so.
Right, we have a question over... Yeah, with the mic. Okay, you start. Yeah.
Sorry. Question from Brazil, Rodrigo Fonseca, to Michel Franco. Congratulations por la película. You've been working with the same cinematographer in your recent films, Yves Cap. I would like to understand a little bit the process with him, especially in the case of this amazing film, the dancing scenes. Because sometimes, although they are very poetic, they have like a documentary taste. I would like if you could explain us a little bit of that.
Thank you for mentioning Yves Cape. He's my closest collaborator, other than the actors, and my partner producer, of course, Hernández. But with Yves, we made 6 movies together already. And I mean, it's kind of insane how we communicate and how we work. It's, you know, like an old marriage or something. We're shouting at each other sometimes, we're communicating without talking. I trust him a big deal, and he's a true artist, has a great eye. The ballet scenes were, yes, documentary approach to a certain extent, but at the same time we made sure Isaac and I were very clear about what we were where the story was going with each of those scenes. So they're pushing the story forward. And we decided to include, for example, on one of the scenes, 2 other couples and not just make it about him. So Isaac had a lot to do with it. You know, the way I work both with my cinematographer and with my actors is, and I think the way why you respond so well is because I trust it's a collaboration. And they want me to make decisions. And the same is with Yves, my Belgium cinematographer. Yeah, thank you.
The guy over there, you can pass him the mic. Ah, yeah, you have it already.
Okay. Márcio Salem, also from Brazil, to Jessica, Michel, and Isaac. In a movie dealing with social inequality and migratory issues, how can you reconcile Fernando's final actions and the movie's discourse without nullifying it? Thank you very much.
Without what?
Nullifying it.
Oh, Jesus, go ahead.
Well, I think what I loved about this character and what I love about Michel's work is that he doesn't provide, kind of to echo what Rupert was saying, he doesn't provide a definite, he encourages the audience to participate and to kind of judge the story through their own experience, in a sense, and their own moral values. I think what was really important for me was to be able to have a character that was entirely human, with its flaws and also with its excitement and drive and dreams and hope for life and all these things. I think that's what made this character so interesting for me. So I wouldn't dare to give a definite understanding of the character or his actions. It's just a good reminder that everybody shares humanity and the good and the bad is shared by all, not only by immigrants, you know.
Yeah, I would echo that. I think the first way you erase someone's humanity is to erase their missteps and their mistakes. I mean, for years I've advocated for really complex female roles, because for years, especially in the United States, female characters really were just like the supporting wife, or, you know, almost like a martyr or a saint. And I've kind of made it my desire to play characters who make a lot of mistakes, make a lot of missteps. I don't care if they're likable or palatable, but I want people to talk about it. And I want it to feel real and human. And we're all capable of so many things. Great, healthy, wonderful, beautiful things, and horrible, destructive behavior. So I loved that Michel, with these characters, he didn't make anyone a saint. He made them human.
When we were shooting Memory, I told Jessica the basic idea of dreams. On a spontaneous way, we were having lunch, and I just started talking about it like 2 weeks into the shooting. And I started talking about an intimate relationship between these two characters, but it was obvious that it also mirrored the bigger frame of the Mexican-American relationship. So we, like, after, you know, we knew what was the next film on that lunch break. And it's because it's interesting on an intimate level, but also on a bigger frame. And what you said, Rupert, the ambiguity that applies also on the bigger picture. Yeah.
Hello, here from Mexico, from La Jornada, acompañándolos. First of all, thank you very much for putting our country, Mexico, in such an important place that Mexico is much more than all the problems. Thank you, Michel. And my question is this, in that relationship between the United States and Mexico, love, hate, that ambivalence between the relationship, is it because the last scene, is this maybe to show the land, the country of the broken dreams? Because all the people who have been through since the beginning to pay all the money they pay and the terrible experience they had, and some of them, their dreams are broken. Was that the essence of your film?
It's a great way to put it. I'll say yes, because it sounds fantastic. But more than that, and in a serious way, I would say, first of all, good to see a Mexican. Us Mexicans, and you would understand it very well, we grew up since we were kids, we're seeing how this relationship between Mexico and the States, it's a complex one where we need each other and we hurt each other and we abuse each other. And, you know, one country, I gotta say, sorry, it's on top of the other. You know, we're sensitive to it as Mexicans, and we sympathize with the millions of Mexicans, of our brothers that are living there, trying to, you know, making the States a better place on a daily basis and being mistreated often. So I don't know. I mean, the way you summed it up sounds great. Do I believe in the American dream? I would say not anymore. But let's not forget that America was built with immigrants. And that's what, you know, Statue of Liberty and all those, you know, let's not forget where it all started. And we believe in empathy. And the reason I'm a very positive person, even if people after watching my films can believe otherwise. But the fact that we are asking questions and wanting to have this conversation that the film opens proves how positive we are about searching the empathy that can, it's the only way to make things better. Yeah.
Hello, Catalina Neonea, Romanian magazine Conștiința. I have a question for everyone. Can you maybe take us through the love story that interferes with the political aspect? Because it's a very intense type of love, maybe somehow crazy type of love. They obviously love each other very much, but they also hurt each other, one another, intentionally. What was the idea, and how was it to film those incredible love scenes? Thank you.
I'm the woman, so I'll talk about it. I have a very, I trust Michel so much. We've worked together before, and, in memory, there was a love scene in that, a very different kind of love scene. But what was really important to me, and every time we talked about those, I think there's 3 scenes in the film, was how is the story moving forward with each scene? So I would ask that question. I said, okay, so this love scene is about what? What is being communicated in it? And then we would talk about how to shoot it and in some sense choreograph it. Like the stairwell scene, it was all choreographed with the 3 of us. And it's great working with a dancer because you know how to to keep the choreography. So we really planned everything emotionally, character-wise, but it was like, what is the story being told through this act of love or act of violence or any kind of physicality?
And very early on, we discussed the most important thing regarding love. They do love each other. Otherwise, the film wouldn't work and it wouldn't be tragic. So it's a true love story. Now, Jennifer's character, she's happy to have 2 separate lives, one in Mexico and the other one in the States. And for her, that's a perfect arrangement. When Fernando shows up, then her perfect separate lives collapse. And it starts to get interesting. But it's true love. That's what makes it tragic. And that's what happened in life too often, people hurt each other even if best intentions are, coming out of love.
Hello, I'm David Martos from Quinótico in Spain. How are you? I have a question for Mr. Franco and Jessica Chastain too. When I was watching the film and I was seeing how you depicted this American fragment treating migrants like pieces that are replaceable, I thought about Hollywood, about how Hollywood has been nurturing itself for 100 years from foreign talent. How do you see it today? I mean, how do you see yourself in the Hollywood environment, Michel? What do you think of Hollywood and how do you see it, Jessica? Thank you.
For me, I'll make it brief because I'm not part of the Hollywood system at all. I write, direct and produce my own movies. I'm very lucky to work with Jessica, who's one of the best, if not the best actress in the world. I said it before and I mean it. But I call the shots, luckily. So we enjoy all the freedom. And we've done this before. We call each other talking about what we're going to shoot tomorrow, and we suddenly change everything around because we understand each other, and we don't have to call anyone to make sure that, we do what we want. And that's not Hollywood, unless you think otherwise. But you're Hollywood.
I'm Hollywood?
Oh, you're also Hollywood.
I'm New York.
You're everything. You're a stage actress.
How do I see myself I could say, how do I see myself in the industry? I think when I started in the industry, it's quite different how I navigate myself now, because I have my own production company. I'm very involved with the collaborations and the filmmakers that I want to work with and the stories that I want to amplify. I feel like I have a lot of, I don't want to say control, but I do feel like I have agency in the stories that I choose to tell, and I don't feel like I need to please anyone. I mean, I prefer not to please anyone because I think it's more exciting and more interesting. So I'm definitely more rebellious than I was in the very beginning. I think, when I was here 14 years ago, I was so scared and so nervous and wondering if people would like me or if I get thrown out of the industry or, and now I'm just kind of like, I'm just going to do what I want, and maybe I'll make people mad, and maybe it's great if I make people mad. My characters do anyway. So, yeah. I'm much happier now.
Hi, I'm Zach from London, writing for the Hollywood Handle. Firstly, congratulations on the film. My question is for Jessica. How, as a recent Oscar winner, how has your perspective changed on acting these past few years? And with the Oscars coming up in 2 weeks, do you have a favorite film from the past year and any performances you especially adored?
You're going to get me in trouble. I mean, it was a great, there's a lot of films that weren't nominated that should have been nominated, as there is every year, but I think there's some incredible stories and performances, and I have a lot of friends that are nominated, so I have to be really careful not to say one over the other. But I'm really, okay, I'm gonna say one, actually. Seed of the Sacred Fig Tree, I think, is a genius film, and it's not getting enough attention. And everyone should watch this film, please, because it's brilliant. And then what was your other question? I guess my perspective has just been, working with filmmakers like Michel and working on films with such low budgets and that aren't being directed by a committee, there's more freedom. So I feel like I don't know, I live in New York, I work with the artists that I want to work with, I feel excited to go to work, I feel really happy to be in the industry, and I'm not called to do something that doesn't excite me. I feel like I can actually not do 6 films a year now if I don't want to. I just work when I want to.
Hi, hello, it's Natalia Zhuk, Carta Berlin. First of all, thank you so much for this masterpiece, because it is, and all my colleagues yesterday after the press screening were like, wow, second day, and it's already there. My first question is to the whole team. How did this idea to show this relationship, on political level and on personal level, especially through the story of a ballet dancer and like a person who develops the ballet, gives money to the schools. Why ballet? So not opera, stage acting, something else, because it's a perfect metaphor and it works like throughout the whole film. All their quarrels look like dances, all their aggression looks like dance. And the second short one to Isaac, this final scene, I still hear your scream in my head, and it's super powerful because I once broke my leg, and it's super nasty. But for you as a dancer whose profession depends on it, what it means to be in this mental space that you're playing a character who basically loses his future in profession after this story. Thank you.
I'll give a brief answer about why ballet, because of Isaac. When I talked with Jessica on that lunch break, it included no ballet. Then I went to see Isaac, who's the best dancer in the world, and he's Mexican, of course, and I'm very proud of him. Yeah, sí, a huevo. And I was fascinated because ballet and dance in Mexico was not popular at all, like was non-existent until Isaac became this massive star. And so I saw a show for 10,000 people where he was dancing. And right there I said, this is the guy, you know, we met that night and I told him, I'm doing this film with Jessica Chastain, I can write dance into it because it'll make it a lot better. And I felt that something was missing. I called Jessica, I told her, and you said, but he's not an actor. I said, no, but he'll be fine, you know. I'll throw any Mexican. Yeah, you said you trust me, and you do. That I enjoy the trust of all these people. That's how I work, and then I take full credit at the end.
I think when we shot that last scene, nobody liked being around the set that day. It was a very uncomfortable situation because I think we all have that present. My body is my instrument and every little thing affects it. So we were incredibly careful with it, but I still feel the reaction when we first tried it the first time. And I think maybe you ran out at some point.
Jessica was saying, be sure that you don't damage him for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's something that I'm constantly aware, but at the same time, I try not to live my life through fear. You know, every time I'm on a stage, anything can happen. Literally, every time I'm in a studio, every time I cross the street. I mean, so I try to not live my life through that. But I have to say, I saw the film a few days ago, and it's quite remarkable. How you chose to end that.
And when we decided that you would do it, and I called you and I said the ballet, and this would be the final scene. That's when you said perfect. Yes, that's it.
Yes.
Okay, we're out of time, unfortunately. So I would like to thank you very much, and congratulations.
Yeah, of course. Turn around. I don't think I. You're welcome. Thank you. All right. You did it.
Yeah.
First two questions. Oh,
Yeah, you're welcome.
I was on time.
Yeah, of course. It's only that
You want to what? Yeah, but before when you were walking up.